Hello, welcome to the second part of the discussion for this month of October 2023. And I'm still talking about opportunities, moments, and greatness. So if you like, you can say this is opportunities, moments, and greatness 3B. Opportunities, moments, and greatness. I've talked about five factors or five principles that I believe will make everyone's greatness to be predictable, if you like to call it like that. That you can say that with reasonable accuracy, if a person understands the process, if a person continues to pay attention to what is within them, if a person is given to strategic thinking, if a person is if a person gets rid of fear, and if a person continues to work smart, that they will become great in life, that they will do some remarkable things in life. And I want to continue and talk about one more factor or one or two more factors before I wrap up for the month of October 2023. So number six is to maintain a positive attitude. Maintain a positive attitude, especially when it appears as if you are struggling, when it appears as if nobody knows you, or in the days of wilderness, so to speak, like we started in the month of August when we talk about the days of wilderness, the days that nobody knows you, the days that you are just on your own, the days of relative ignominy or relative darkness, that when you are working in the secret, when nobody seems to know the efforts you are putting in, when you are depriving yourself of certain things, you are sowing the seeds. It is important. You are working out, you have all the information, you are thinking strategically. It is absolutely important that you maintain a positive attitude. That is another way of saying get rid of negativity, get rid of negative attitude. Again, it is absolutely essential that if you're working hard, if you are putting in the hard work, you are diligent, you have the information and all of these things, it is important, it is essential that you maintain a positive attitude regardless of what happens or what does not happen. A positive attitude is an asset. On the other hand, a negative attitude will place a limit on people. A negative attitude is cancerous to a person's destiny. Now, generally speaking, people don't go far in life with a negative attitude. Generally speaking, people, regardless of talent, regardless of even inheritance, regardless of skills, regardless of even education, even competence, generally speaking, people don't go far in life with a negative attitude. People don't maximize their potential with a negative attitude. People, even if you see great results around them, if they have got a negative attitude, most of the time it's either the results you're seeing are just a fraction of what they will have achieved with a positive attitude, or in no time the negative attitude that they exhibit will eventually negate or even cancel or make a mess of the results that you see around them. Now, let me say this. When I say a positive attitude and a negative attitude, let's just make it clear. I'm not just saying maybe, for example, if you are just smiling to everybody that you meet, because of that, everybody's just going to be nice to you. That's not what we're talking about. Or if you maybe need to be serious about something because we are talking about positive and negative attitude. So, oh, let me show that I have a positive attitude. No, that's not what we are talking about. This is something that has to do with the state of a person's heart, the quality of a person's heart. So that negative attitude, generally speaking, saps people's energy. It drains or blocks creativity. That when we talk about negative attitude, things like envy, for example, things like jealousy, things like criticisms of others, when you are envious of others that have the result that you don't have, people that are rich and you are maybe just struggling or you are just average financially speaking, when you begin to criticize such people, naturally speaking, you will lack the creative ideas that will make you to be successful or to be rich or to achieve the desire that you want to achieve. This is absolutely important. That's why in the Bible it talks about rejoicing in the Lord, always rejoicing, and again rejoicing. Because, and in another place it talks about God inhabiting the praises of his people, not the complaining of his people, not the frowning of his people. So that means you are happy regardless of what somebody around you has as results. You don't criticize successful people. You don't blame rich people for your own maybe financial struggles. I know that is the way maybe the society wants you to think. It's easier to criticize the rich, for example, for not considering the poor or for whatever. But that's not necessarily why individuals are poor. If you understand this thing, it will position you, it will put you on a platform that you can begin to think creatively about how to make your own life better as a person. That you don't welcome or entertain negativity on your journey to greatness, on your journey to on your way to becoming a remarkable individual. You don't demonize successful people. You don't criticize people that have what you lack just because you lack such. People have not done you any wrong just because they appear successful, or they appear to have maybe more material possession, or they appear to be maybe placed highly in the society. You begin to criticize them. That's not the way to live if you want to rise yourself. So it means you get rid of things like jealousy, things like bitterness, things like unnecessary and unhelpful comparison. Unnecessary and unhelpful comparison. If X could achieve this, I must have this. If X could use this, I must have it. No, all of those things are negative attitude that saps energy. You should have or want or desire what you want, what you desire, because maybe you like it yourself, you want to you can afford it as well, of course, or because you think it reflects or it makes you happy, it reflects your personality and whatever like that. But it is not. It should not just be because somebody is doing something and that's as a result of that you want to do the same. In those days in America, in the days of healing revival, there were people that would go and say, "Oh, this person had a tent that could seat maybe 2,000 people." So somebody will say, "Oh, if X could seat 2,000 people, I'll go and do my own to be 2001 or 2010 or something like that." No, you don't need such. I always say this, that competition may be very important in business. It's not important when it comes to private lives. It is not the right word when it comes to private life. So it is important that you don't react negatively to other people's achievement, to other people's results. So I say it's not so difficult to tell whether a person will do well in life or not. Honestly, it's not so difficult to tell whether somebody will do well in life or not, particularly when they are just rising in life. Just look at how they react or respond to other people's success, other people's accomplishment, how they react to the good things happening to others around them. That is a major indication, a major pointer to whether they themselves will be successful or not. That's why in the Bible it talks about rejoicing with those that rejoice, and I will talk about that shortly. So it's very important, and I can talk about a few tips here, a few helpful tips with regards to getting rid of negative attitude and maintaining a positive attitude, looking forward to your own future with joy, with excitement, with high expectations that yes, I may not have these things today, but I know tomorrow things will get better for me. I like to say this, that I remember when I first moved to the UK and I was doing manual jobs, factory jobs. I will close maybe in the evening around 10, 11. It will be cold, extreme cold. And I'll be saying, God, I thank you that very soon things will be better for me. I'll be telling some of my mates then, or classmates, or housemates, now don't worry, very soon things will get better for me. I will be living a good life, and I will not be doing this type of job again. I will not be struggling again. In other words, you are excited because you can see about it's something about your own future. Again, what I talk about, paying attention to what is within you and things like that. So that way, you have joy in yourself. It is in the Bible, like Galatians 6:4, that you have joy in what you're doing yourself. You don't have to compare yourself, or you don't have to demean what other people are doing or what they have achieved just for you to feel good, or just so that people will think you are great. No, you don't become great by demeaning others. You don't magnify your own success by downplaying what other people have done. When somebody is being celebrated, that's their moment. You don't need to now talk about your own accomplishment. Maybe they appear bigger or better than what they have achieved. Let them enjoy their moment, if we may call it like that. Let them just rejoice with them just for that purpose. You don't need to downplay what someone has done or begin to introduce negative vibe, as they say, into other people's joyous moments just because it is not your moment. So you don't criticize, then you are not bitter because of what other people have done, even if it appears as if some of the things they have done is not obvious to you, or they are not obvious to you, or even maybe they are questionable. It's not your business. Even if they are questionable, if they are caught, are you the one that will go to prison? No. So what's your stress? Just leave people to live their life and live your own life. Don't be bitter. Celebrate with others. Why? Because what you celebrate, generally speaking, you attract. What you celebrate, generally speaking, you attract. It is one reason why it's not ideal, for example, to be dwelling on negativities or negative moments, or not to even be hanging around negative people, because you just attract some of these things automatically. So when you do that, you begin to attract and multiply negativity around your life. So you don't you don't get bitter because of what is happening to somebody around you, somebody close to you. Maybe your younger ones, for example, they appear to be more successful than you. It doesn't mean you should criticize them because of that, begin to come up with some negative attitude. No, just live your life. Just know that you are responsible for your life. The fact that you don't have some things or something now does not mean you will not have them tomorrow. Or the fact that somebody seems to be ahead of you. Well, that's one of the things I've learned in life. People that appear ahead of you, you can overtake them. The same way people can overtake you. That's just how life is. It's not that you are competing. It just happens. The time and chance happen to people in different moments, and it depends on what people do. You don't, like we say, you don't know the seeds that people are sowing. So that the same way, you can just focus on sowing the right seed and not be bothered about what is happening to somebody or what somebody is doing that appear that seem to make them more successful or more prominent than yourself. And related to that is, don't blame. All of these are negative energy, negative attitude, blaming others. Blaming. I talked about this sometime when I talk about true success in life. You don't blame the system, you don't blame the government, you don't blame your boss, you don't blame your parents, you don't blame your spouse, you don't blame your children. No, because most time when we blame, we absolve ourselves of responsibility. We are saying, I'm not responsible. And somebody said responsibility is the price for greatness. So each time you blame, you are simply cutting yourself short from greatness. You are simply detaching or removing yourself from greatness, and that can have disastrous consequences. It is important we just get rid of any and every form of negativity. You don't blame the system that, it's because the government has not made provision for disadvantaged people, or the government is not supporting startups, they are not supporting small businesses, or society generally is not supportive of women, or is not very supportive of women with children, or they are not supportive of maybe black people if you are maybe in a society where you constitute ethnic minority, or it's just because my parents, they have done all of those ones. They generate and multiply negative energy. And the reason why you need to avoid such is that they will sap your energy. The same mind that is thinking about problem cannot be thinking about solution. Just think about that. The same mind that is focused on problems cannot be thinking of the solution. You cannot be magnifying the problem. That's what I'm saying. And also be expecting, be creative in looking for solution. No, you cannot be magnifying the problem and be effective in getting the solution. That's why most time when you are worried, when you are bothered, when you are anxious about things, you find out that most time you begin to make wrong decisions, wrong choices, that maybe when you look back and say, how come, why did I make such decision? That's the thing. The negative energy, the anxiety. So when the Bible says you should rejoice, it's simply saying you will provide the basis for creative ideas, for effective solutions to begin to come your way, for ideas that will help you to make better decisions, to make informed decisions. You just begin to see differently. You begin to see differently when you have a positive attitude. Solutions, ideas begin to come. And the same way, these things, they will just dry up. They will just dry up when you are negative, when you associate with these negative emotions, things like bitterness, like envy, like jealousy, like blaming others. And the last one I'll talk about is this comparison or competitive attitude, this competitiveness. I've talked a bit about that if X can do it, then I can do it. Yeah, I'm better than Y. You don't need to think in terms of who you are better than, because that is just a sign of inferiority complex. If you're always thinking in terms of, oh, you are better this than this other person, how about people that are better than you? So I say, if you are motivated because you are better than some people, or because you have achieved more than others, that also means you will be depressed when you see people that have achieved more than you. I think it was someone that said they were driving. I think it was Max Muller of blessed memory. He said there was a time he went to Germany and he was driving on the Autobahn, the no limit express. If you like, you can just drive as much as you want. That's like no restriction on the speed. And I think he was maybe cruising at maybe 180 or something like that, and he was overtaking everybody. Was so happy because of that, until somebody just came, quote and unquote, from nowhere and just overtook him. The person was going at maybe 220. In other words, the moment you now realize that, oh, somebody has overtaken me, that your excitement, that joy, everything that you have will crumble. No, you don't have to live like that. That's what we are saying. You don't have to be comparing yourself. Bible says they're comparing themselves by themselves, measuring themselves with one another. They are not wise. It is a negative energy to be saying, oh, I'm better than X, or I've achieved more results than my contemporaries, maybe than my age mates, my age group. All of those things are not important at all. Because if you are doing that, you may even be depriving yourself. Remember the yardstick that we're talking about, what is inside of you. You may be depriving yourself of more or greater things because you settle, because you think, oh, you have overtaken every other person. Whereas there are other people ahead of you as well. So that's not a true indication of your potential. You shouldn't be so bothered about what X has bought, what Y has, or what Y is using. Just live your life. Comparison generates this negative attitude. You don't need to compete or compare yourself with any other person. Just live your life. Run your own race. Try to measure your success by your potential, by what is inside of you, and that will help you to continue to maintain this positive attitude. And a good way to always have that positive attitude is to just spend time with God. Let's spend time in His Bible. Talk about in His presence is fullness of joy, and at His right hand are pleasures forevermore. So it is absolutely essential that you, as a person, you continue to draw strength. You continue to draw strength. That is a very good factor that will help you in that regard. You are always joyful because you are constantly drawing strength and energy from God. Maintaining a positive attitude will make you creative. You begin to see solutions and ideas that will help you to actually navigate the situation and the circumstances around you that you probably never imagined before. So this is very important when it comes to becoming great in life. Now, our time is fast spent. What have I talked about this month? I've talked about two more factors when it comes to becoming great, maximizing opportunities and moments, in addition to the ones that we've talked about before. In previous months, I've talked about understanding the process. I've talked about paying attention to what is within you as a person. And I've talked about the importance of strategic thinking, working smart, the importance of getting rid of fear, and I'm talking now about maintaining a positive attitude. Now, these points, when you begin to put them to work, before we talk about three more that I have, and I believe that definitely will ensure that a person's greatness in life is guaranteed, that a person overcomes ignominy as much as possible, and they live a remarkable life. Now, this will be a convenient point for me to draw the curtain for the month of October 2023. Now, I know this has imparted maybe something, a statement or an idea has dropped for you, and you feel, oh, this is actually what I need. This has inspired me to continue to do or to take positive steps in the direction of my vision, my dreams, my goals in life. So I want you to take note of that and then share it with someone. If it has blessed you, listen to it again, share it with someone, let it bless someone. And in case you have any questions, you got any ideas about anything that I've talked about, you want to reach out to me. If you my email address is in the description box. If you send me an email there, I'll be happy to answer your questions and respond to whatever query that you may have. Now, our next meeting, which is going to be the very last one for the year 2023, is going to be in November the 17th, 2023. November 17th, 2023, and I'll be wrapping up the discussion on opportunities, moments, and greatness. So that will be opportunities, moments, and greatness, part 4. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you and see you next time. Bye-bye.